Estonian culture, everyday customs, language, and the most important holidays and their customs. The culture of Estonians is very closely connected to the forest, the sea, and the nature as a whole. Estonians attach great importance to nature and its protection, since almost 50% of Estonia's land area is covered by forests and 22% is covered by bogs. Additionally, Estonia has 30 big islands and thousands of smaller islands. Estonian culture, especially traditional culture, is similar to other Finnic nations. The everyday customs of Estonians are quite interesting. Estonians like to keep a distance with other people in public places. For example, when someone is already in the bus pavilion, the other person will not go there as well and will just wait for the bus a short distance away from the pavilion. For Estonians, personal space is self-evident. Estonians do not speak loudly in public place, usually, and their talks with companion are interrupted when a stranger happens to pass by. Estonians can be very talkative and open-minded among their friends. Estonians are friendly and hospitable to strangers, especially with tourists. Estonians are usually not straightforward when talking to strangers. The first foreign language of Estonians depends on whether a person went to school during the Soviet occupation or after the restoration of the Republic of Estonia. As a rule, Estonians over 40 years of age have Russian as their foreign language, and Estonians under 40 years of age have English as their foreign language. The share of English speakers among Estonians is increasing, while the share of Russian speakers is declining. The Estonians invite people to their home only when they are familiar enough with the person. If you lose the trust of an Estonian, it is quite difficult to win it back. Most Estonians use their personal car instead of public transportation for daily trips. Public transportation is used more by the residents of Estonia who are not ethnically Estonians. Estonia is one of the most motorized countries in Europe. Estonians generally do not consider themselves Eastern European, but instead Nordic people, just like Finns, because Estonians have the most similar language and culture with them. Estonians like to do things on a project basis. Estonians are diligent in their work, and as Estonia is just about to leave the subcontracting country status, it is expected by people that wages and living standard will become more equal with Finns and Swedes soon. Large national events such as General Song Festival and Dance Festival are an important part of the cultural identity of Estonians. Traditional music and culture are still popular among Estonians, including rune songs, which is the oldest song type of the Finnic peoples. Previous Estonian food culture was based mainly on rye bread, potatoes, and pork, but nowadays the everyday cuisine of Estonians has a wide variety of different dishes from around the world, such as sushi and tacos. Estonians are quite curious and adventurous people, so trying out new things is common, including new food. You will find quite a big variety of restaurants in Estonia, especially in bigger cities, including worldwide fast food restaurant chains like McDonald's, Subway, KFC, and so on. Generally speaking, Estonian society can be characterized as a nation which constantly adapts to rapid changes, but also retains old traditions. Estonian society is also characterized by an atmosphere favorable towards the internet and other e-solutions. Estonia always strives to be one step ahead of the rest of Europe in terms of technology and efficiency. Although Estonia is often considered one of the most non-religious country in the world, this is not quite the truth. Approximately one-fourth of the population of Estonia consider themselves religious. Most of them consider themselves Christians. The religiousness of ethnic Estonians is lower than that of non-ethnic residents of Estonia. However, about 5% of the Estonian population participates in weekly worship, which is similar with other neighboring countries, including Finland and Russia. The biggest reason for the non-religiousness of the Estonian population lies in the propaganda during the Soviet occupation, which glorified science and atheism. Compared to many other European countries, Estonians are indeed less Christian, but other non-traditional beliefs are prevalent instead. Estonian family life is similar to other Northern European nations. Marriage is often seen as an old-fashioned tradition. Most children are born into families where the parents are not married. Every fifth man and sixth woman have children with several partners. Nuclear families are common, so are single parents. On average, one Estonian woman has 1.67 children, which is similar across Northern Europe. Women are having their first child at a later age, sometimes due to university studies, career, relationship insecurity, or economic insecurity. The Estonian government has recently enacted laws promoting family life and financial coping, which have helped to increase the amount of children per woman. The most important holidays for Estonians are Christmas, jõulud, Midsummer, jaanipäev, and Easter, lihavõtted. The traditions of Estonian Christmas are a mix of winter solstice customs, the traditional Estonian Christmas customs, as well as more modern, international customs. The word Christmas in Estonian, jõulud, comes from the ancient Scandinavian word jul. Almost all Nordic nations still call Christmas jul, or some variety of that word to this day. Historically, Christmas is celebrated from December 21st to January 6th. Today, Christmas time in Estonia begins on December 1st, when Advent time begins, but still ends on January 6th on Epiphany. Until the mid-19th century, straw or hay was brought into the room instead of a Christmas tree, which was used both as a decoration and as a practical remedy because the winters were cold and the hay helped to keep the warmth. The old Estonians' Christmas customs also included staying up all night at Christmas because it was believed that then one would be energetic the rest of the year. People were not allowed to do greater work, and visiting each other on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day was prohibited. Another important tradition was the Christmas sauna. On Christmas Eve, people had to eat 9 to 12 times because it was believed that then there would be plenty of food in the next year. The character related to Christmas was either a Christmas goat, Joulusokk, Joulupukk, or Christmas goose, Jouluhani. Today's Christmas customs are slightly different. During the Advent season, the home is decorated both inside and out, and a Christmas tree is brought into the house, which is then decorated with the family. The use of Advent calendars and the burning of candles every Advent Sunday are very popular in Estonia. From the beginning of the Advent period, December 1st, many families with children are visited by small elves who bring a little surprise to the children every day. However, these tiny creatures are usually helped by parents. The most important Christmas days in Estonia are December 24 and 25. Families gather in the evening of December 24 for Christmas Eve's dinner and gifts. Traditional Estonian Christmas dishes include pork roast or poultry, fried sauerkraut, blood sausages, potatoes, pumpkin salad, lingonberry jam or salad, meat jelly, ham, herring, sweet kringle, gingerbread, tangerines, beer, mulled wine, and much more. The gifts are handed out in different ways. In many Estonian families, the presents are handed out by Santa Claus, Jouluvana, who is classically an old man in red costume and white beard, and comes from Lapland, Finland. Every year, more Estonian families, however, have a little different custom. Gifts are brought by elves, who leave the gift bags behind the front door, and the gifts are handed out by someone in the party. In both cases, however, it is common practice for the recipient to redeem the gift by either a poem, song, or some other performance. It is very popular at Christmas to go to the graves of your ancestors and light candles to commemorate them. Participation in church's Christmas worship is also quite popular among Estonians, even if the person is not an active church participant. Celebrating the New Year, or Närid, like it's called in Estonian, is also somewhat similar to celebrating Christmas Eve, although many people celebrate it outside their homes with friends. The name Närid also comes from the Scandinavian language, presumably from the Swedish word nyår, which means New Year. During Estonia's occupation by the Soviet Union, celebrating Christmas was forbidden, and some families decided to use New Year's Eve as an alternative time for Christmas celebration. However, many families still celebrated Christmas secretly on 24th of December. Christmas time ends 6th January on Epiphany, called Kolmekuningapäev, Three Kings' Day in Estonian, when Christmas trees are traditionally taken out of the house. Midsummer's Day, or Jaanipäev in Estonian, celebrated on June 23rd, is an ancient summer holiday in Estonia and throughout the Nordic cultural sphere, celebrating the summer solstice. The name of the holiday is much newer than the custom of celebration itself. Jan is the Estonian adaptation of Saint John the Baptist. Some believe that the holiday began after the Gali meteorite fell on Saaremaa Island about 4,000 years ago. According to legend, this resulted in the custom of making huge bonfires. This summer holidays customs have changed slightly less over time than, for example, the Christmas customs. Midsummer's Day is considered to be the longest day of the year, when the sun does not set in Northern Europe. All the Estonians prepared for Midsummer's Day with sauna, gathering burning material and preparing milk and egg dishes. It was believed that not going by bonfire would bring bad luck and fires. People had to be cheerful around the bonfires, so they danced and sang around it. Couples went into the woods to search for a fern blossom, which actually was an excuse to spend time together, since ferns do not bloom. For the most part, modern midsummer customs are similar to the old customs. Midsummer's Day is celebrated either with family or at the midsummer party organized by private companies or local authorities. Dairy and egg dishes have now been replaced by barbecuing, and many families also make s'mores as desserts. Many families go to the countryside for a midsummer holiday celebration. Therefore, around midsummer, cities are more empty than usual. Quite a large number of people use this holiday as an excuse to drink plenty of alcohol. During Midsummer's Day, the victory of the Estonian War of Independence is also celebrated, thanks to which Estonia became a free republic. The Estonia flag must be kept on the mast overnight from June 23 to June 24. The tradition of Estonian midsummer is most similar to that of Finland and Latvia, although midsummer bonfires are lit in addition to Estonia, Finland, and Latvia, also in Denmark, Norway, and some regions of Sweden. Easter is an important spring holiday to mark the resurrection of Christ. As the most important Christian spring holiday, Easter traditions in many European countries are quite similar. Easter has many names in Estonian, but since fasting ended during the Easter, the most popular name of Easter is lihavõtted in Estonian, which means taking of meat. From old customs, for example, in southern Estonia, young men set up a new swing for Easter because swing season began. The most well-known custom, which has survived to this day in Estonia and elsewhere in Europe, is the coloring of eggs and then gifting, cracking and eating them. Willow branches are brought into the room, if possible. The home is decorated with spring flowers. Some families have a custom to hunt eggs in the garden, hidden by Eastern bunny. Among the other holidays, the Shrove Tuesday, called Vastlapäev in Estonian, celebrated in February, is worth mentioning. This is the time when fasting started, which went on until Easter. Hence the name Vastlapäev, which comes from the Lower German Vastelavend, fast night. The most important customs of Shrove Tuesday are sledding and eating Vaslakukkel, also known as semla, and also pea soup. The Independence Day of the Republic of Estonia is held on February 24, with flag-raising ceremonies, military parades, and a reception of the president, and a concert. Other important holidays are St. Martin's Day, called Mardipäev in Estonian, and St. Catherine's Day, called Katripäev in Estonian, which are celebrated on November 10 and November 25 respectively. During these holidays, people, usually children, disguise themselves and go door to door asking for candy while singing traditional folk songs and giving many good wishes to the household. Because of the similarity of these two holidays to Halloween, the customs of all three holidays have begun to mix over the past decade, because in theory they are the same fall holidays. Some families also organize Halloween parties with friends. Estonian language is an integral part of Estonian culture. Today, Estonian is one of the most widely spoken Finnic language. Estonian is most similar to Latvian and Finnish, and it is a distant relative to Hungarian language. The Finnic languages are fairly mutually intelligible. The Estonian language used today, the official Estonian written language, is based on the Northern Estonian dialect. The Estonian language is divided into two main dialects, Northern and Southern Estonian, with subdialects. Today, however, with the use of standardized written language, the dialects of different regions of Estonia have receded, but the Võru and Setu languages spoken in southern Estonia have remained with a considerable user base. It is believed that the Estonian language began to take its approximate contemporary form towards the end of the ancient Estonian time period, when three Finnic mother language dialects began to mingle. At the beginning of developing the modern Estonian written language, Southern Estonian dialect was at the privileged position. The first translation of the New Testament was also published in Southern Estonian dialect in 1686. By 1739, when the Bible was fully published in Northern Estonian dialect, South Estonian dialect began to lose its status as an official written language. It's only since the 1990s that the Southern Estonian dialects and languages came into wider use again. Estonian uses a Latin alphabet with some added letters, for example, Ö, A, Ö, and Ü. Like other Finno-Ugric languages, there is no grammatical gender in Estonian. Like other Finnic languages, there are many cases in Estonian, more specifically 14. There are many homonyms in Estonian. For example, The word tee can mean, depending on the context, either tea, road, or command, do. There are many loanwords in Estonian, mostly from Germanic languages. Most come from Lower German and Higher German, but also from Swedish, Russian, and Finnish. Today, written and spoken Estonian are most heavily influenced by English. Here are some examples of loanwords in Estonian language. Alam-Saksa, Low German. Arst, kool, köök, õli, naaber. Saksa, German. Loss, ring, kleit, sink, vürts. Rootsi, Swedish. Riik, tasku, pipar, räim, plika. Vene, Russian. Munder, majakas, porgand, tatar, kirka. Soome, Finnish. Aare, julm, tehas, suhe, kuva. The Estonian and Finnish languages are quite similar to each other, and to a large extent mutually intelligible. Next, you will see some examples of similar words in Estonian and Finnish, and some examples of sentences. Keep in mind that in Finnish, K, P, T are pronounced GBD, and Estonian U and Finnish Y have the same pronunciation, U. Maa, maa. Taivas, taivas. Meri, meri. Vesi, vesi. Leib, leipä. Elan paksus metsas. Asun paksussa metsässä. Olen pruun ja syön kõike. Olen ruskea ja syön kaikkea. Marju, aga ka loomi. Marjoja, mutta myös eläimiä. Kes mä olen? Kuka minä olen? Olen karu. Olen karhu. The Finnish word asun means to be somewhere in Estonian. And the Finnish word eläimiä is very similar to Estonian word eläjä, which means either beast or animal. So, even if Estonian and Finnish are not the same word by word, they are still highly mutually understandable because of similar vocabulary and grammar. If you want to learn more about the Estonian language, culture, customs, music, and so on, then make sure to check out the video description. I will link some interesting stuff there. Thanks for watching and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.